everyone. Welcome to Geek Therapeutics. I'm your guest GM today, Renee Ritchie. I am a longtime gamer, pretty much my entire adult life, and I've written for various role-playing game properties such as The World of Darkness and Chronicles of Darkness. And today I am with this lovely cohort of awesome mental health professionals to play Legend of the Five Rings. This game was actually a personal favorite of mine. It actually got me through some pretty tough times in college, and was written by a dear friend of mine by the name of John Wick. You may have seen him on some of the other streams here. This is specifically the 4th edition of the rules, which came out in the late 2000s. And today I'm playing with a lovely group of folks. And I think we'll just kind of go around the table and just get intros for everybody, and so we can all kind of get to know each other and understand a little bit about each other's background. Who would like to go first? Bueller?
I'll go first. My mic's unmuted. My name is Meredith. I am a licensed social worker in Colorado. I work with adults with intellectual and developmental delays and disabilities. My character today I am playing is Now. My pronouns for Now are she, her, hers, as are mine. And the big quirk about Now that I was really drawn to is that she cannot lie, will not lie, refuses to lie, all about honesty. So it feels like a fun mechanic, and I'm excited to throw that in, especially with the context of the people I work with who often have difficulty with mistruths or white lies or anything in that. So I think it might be a fun dynamic.
Yeah. To add to that really quickly, the character Now is a Ronin, basically a cast out samurai from the Scorpion clan. In the Legend of the Five Rings world, the Scorpion clan are pretty much known for lies and misdirection for the good of the Empire. So having a character in that clan who can't lie could cause a lot of complications, which is why Now is now a Ronin. Next, don't all volunteer at once.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I am a licensed professional counselor. I have my own practice, and I work with just about everybody. And I am going to be playing Yasu. And my pronouns are she and her. And her mother was a part of the Mantis clan. Is that right? And then, but she was rejected and shamed due to a pregnancy out of wedlock. And so Yasu was born a Ronin.
Perfect. Thank you. Next.
I'm Laura. I'm a limited licensed mental health counselor. Work with kids 8 and up, young adults, all the way up, and also work with individuals, couples, groups. Today I'll be playing Aoi, who was a Shugenja, was among a school of pacifists, and the leader made me angry because of something that they did, and I lost my temper, and that resulted in that person's death, and then I was punished and became a Ronin.
And finally, we have...
Hi, my name is Kirsten. I am a master's psychology student from Estonia, and I counsel mainly medical workers. And I'm playing Kaoru, who is different from others because he is not affiliated with any clan. His background is that his family has been like a bandit for generations, so he's maybe trying to turn his life around.
Excellent. So the world of Legend of the Five Rings is heavily based on samurai culture, specifically samurai films such as Kurosawa films, and a lot of historical elements, primarily centered in Japanese culture, but it's the entirety of Rokugan, which is the empire specifically in Legend of the Five Rings, is also pulls from a lot of different Asian cultures, like from Mongolia for the Unicorn Clan for various aspects, from Southeast Asia for some aspects of the Mantis Clan, etc. I'll be honest, this game actually got me through leaving an abusive relationship. The abusive partner at the time was actually the one who introduced me to the game, but the community that I met through the game helped me gain a little bit more confidence to get out of that relationship, and really also cemented my confidence in myself as a writer, because I was working on my undergrad thesis as a creative writing major at the time. So this game is very near and dear to my heart. That said, this game also has a lot of potential room for cultural appropriation. This is heavily based on Asian culture, specifically in a historical context. So one of the things that I absolutely do try to do is treat the culture with respect and understand where it comes from. I am, as you can see, very white. I am not Asian in any part of my ancestry, but at the same time, this game really helped me get through a lot, and so I'm very excited to share it all with you today. And if everybody is ready, let's begin. It's been a long journey for many of you. The Caillou Wall at the southern edge of the empire, which separates Rokugan from the Shadowlands, a land of evil and metaphysical corruption and taint specifically, is a very dangerous place. It is constantly under siege, and the Crab Clan that oversees this wall is known for its unending, unwavering defense of the empire from these evil forces. Naturally, the body count is high in the Crab Clan. Many die to attacks. Many die to poison from eldritch entities. Many succumb to the corruption of the Shadowlands taint and thus can no longer fight, or sometimes even defect to the enemy. This means that the Crab Clan frequently needs more soldiers than their families can create. Usually in Rokugan, becoming a member of the samurai caste is a matter of birth. However, the Crab Clan does offer one area of advancement for those who were not born samurai or have potentially become Ronin from the clans they were born in, and basically get a chance of redemption. And that is what brought you here. You've all come south, very far south, halfway across the empire, to participate in the 20 Goblin Winter. The premise is simple. The entire empire's heard of it. You go across the wall and you collect 20 goblin heads and come back. You'll have earned a place within the Crab Clan as one of its samurai. You will be under the liege of a particular crab daimyo. They will handle all of your personal needs as a proper daimyo should. And you will have access to the specific schools of fighting and spellcraft and diplomacy, if you choose, of the Crab Clan. Their style is very direct and hard-hitting, which is actually something very uncommon for the Empire. Usually there's a bit more delicacy in how things are done. Court life is intricate, and quite frankly, as Nell can probably attest, a pain in the ass. Because sometimes you have to say things you don't mean, but you can't necessarily lie to do so. And if you call someone out in a mistruth or misdirection, it could cost you everything. The sun is rising in the east, as it always does. And when you wake up this morning, you know it is your day. You will go out over to the other side of the wall and fight the most pernicious of the little Shadowlands minions, the Goblin. They're really easy to kill, but they also tend to group up in like large mobs. You usually rarely see them in groups of less than 5. Or if you do, they've gotten very, very far away and they're easy pickings. In fact, Yasu, you've probably been able to shoot down 2 or 3 without really even thinking about it from the top of the wall, just while you're doing some initial training. But for now, we're going to focus on now. It has been a sleepless night. It's not been a very good night for you. See, the fortunes, the thousands of gods that oversee every little piece of life in Rokugan have given you a gift. Sometimes you see flashes of the future. And last night, in probably the most annoying way possible, the night before you have something big going on, you get one of those flashes. You hear a lot of high chittering and screeching. You smell blood. It's literally the only thing you can smell. You're covered in it. But as you look around, the battlefield that you're in this dream is littered with bodies. Some goblins, some samurai. You're not sure whose blood is whose. Not to mention that being covered in blood as such in Rokugani culture is considered immensely unclean. You feel like you need to take a bath for a week when you wake up. And now we pull back to the rest of our fine warriors and magicians looking for a place within the crowd clan. Tell me what your morning routine is like.
Me?
Anyone.
Oh, okay. I think after that prophecy thing, I might actually go try to like, not necessarily shower, but like rinse off a little bit to try to kind of make myself feel better at this point.
Yes, the baths are definitely ready, and because of the rather messy lifestyle of the crowd dealing with combat so frequently, the baths are frequently well maintained, and nobody bats an eye when the Ronin decides that she wants a bath before she's likely going to die. The survival rate of the 20 Goblin Winter is about 50-50. Because usually, if you're crazy enough or skilled enough to go do it, you're probably going to come back. And then there are some people who feel like they have no choice. And, well, sometimes the goblins just get the drop on them. Kaoru, how about you?
I think Kaoru would join because as a nomadic part of a nomadic clan or a family of bandits, I think he's never had much chance to take a bath like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is all very
It's
new.
luxurious. It is luxurious compared to anything that you have ever experienced. Sure, when the money's good, you can go into an inn somewhere nearby town, one that, you know, your face isn't on a wanted poster, and get a decent bath. But this is practically luxurious. Small villages can't compare to the kind of facilities that a full great clan can offer. Baths are usually separated by gender, but it's definitely a good time to just relax, take in the water, meditate on what could very well be your death, and remembering what the word samurai means, to serve.
I have no idea.
It is basically derived from a term.
No, I mean,
to serve.
For the character, I'm quite well versed with Legend of Five mythos and the world, but I think as a part of the forest killer Ronins is he doesn't know so much about the samurai code.
So he probably doesn't know a lot about some of the intricacies, but he does know about some of the social expectations and what the word means at the very least. And he's going to have to learn very quickly if he survives this. Yasu, how about you?
Yasu will go down and eat while her mother raised her to be very respectful and understands very well what the social expectations is. I imagine she will want to enjoy her breakfast and her last meal before potentially going on this long, arduous, and very, very dangerous mission.
Absolutely. When the food is brought to you, unless you're going down to the larger crab mess hall, there's an additional bottle of sake in there. You're not sure from who, but it is sealed. And there's a little note. Some courage just in case you need it. Good luck. The chalk on there, the wax, basically the stamp signature is that of Hida Misato. Misato is a bushi, a warrior of the Hida family in the Crab Clan. She has been the main contact for all of you while you've been here. For those who need it, she's provided a little extra training to reinforce what you've already learned and giving you a little bit of knowledge on what to expect in the Shadowlands. She's seen a lot of different groups like yours come and go, specifically to pursue the 20 Goblin Winter and to join the Crab Clan. And something that she said last night before all y'all went to bed sticks with you. I think this group's going to make it. Every single one of you. I don't say that very often. She's a big woman. Very large woman. She's remarkably kind. Aoi, how would you like to spend what could eventually be your final night in civilization?
I would first like to sit and meditate. Do nothing first.
That is a wonderful way to start your day. It's remarkably easy to clear your mind when you're not entirely sure what the future will hold. You could die out there. But at the same time, while this potential chance for redemption for you could come forward, you're still doing a service to the crowd and to the empire by reducing the threat that the Shadowlands holds. There's some comfort in that. Even as you remember how your liege lord died. Admittedly, when you cast Jade's Strike at him, you had full reason to believe that he had been tainted by the Shadowlands, which has various ways to infiltrate even as far north as the lands of the Crane clan, which is where you hailed from. It was more embarrassing that you were right to do so. One of the things that you know about the spell Jade Strike is if there is no Shadowlands taint on the subject you cast it at, it doesn't do anything except potentially insult them. There's no harm done. But you're pretty sure skin's not supposed to bubble like that. It is a little spooky. But it's because of that the Crab Clan specifically invited you personally to engage in the 20 Goblin Winter because they could use more people like that with more bravery, willing to take that kind of risk to make sure that the Empire stays safe. You're all expected to gather in the courtyard on your particular chunk of the wall in the middle of the morning. So you have some time to prepare. Whether or not you want to pray to the fortunes for strength, whether or not you want to hope for the guidance of your ancestors. The ancestor worship is also very important in Open. Or if you want to enjoy some more of the creature comforts with the expectation that you might not enjoy them again. Or maybe even talk to the people that you're going to be fighting alongside. Make sure you know them. Make sure you trust them to have your back in the heat of battle. Feel free to talk among yourselves for a little bit.
Misato left us this sake, guys. Would y'all like to partake?
Part of me wants to save it for afterwards as a celebration. If we celebrate too early, goblins will get to celebrate on our blood. Out of character, I have a question. The group
Sure.
that into the trial, is it just us or are there other?
Yes, okay. It is just the four of you. There are similar units of 4 or 5 that are also going out.
Okay. In my vision, did I see any particular face from our group or just samurai bodies and Ronin bodies?
There was so much blood you couldn't pick out individual features.
Okay. I think in character, I'm going to share my vision with them so they have all the information. It feels smarter to inform my crew of what might be ahead outside. I mean, I think everyone on the crew probably already knows that this is the first endeavor, but
yes. And when you have this group of folks together and you've trained together for at least a couple of weeks in preparation for this, just to have an understanding of who does what best in a fight, Aoi now has probably shared some of her visions and how they work with you. And you know this is something that the fortunes usually bless people with. However, you also know that, while there's a slightly heightened chance it could come true, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will, or that there's a potential different way to interpret it. With the spiritual teachings that come along with the Shugenja, that's something that you know and you've been able to convey as at least some sort of comfort. And, you know, that might have been something the two of you bonded to. That's entirely, I leave that entirely up to the two of you. And yes, like I said, I absolutely encourage y'all to, you know, talk to each other in character. Please do. This is, I promise you, this will be a good bonding experience. No, really, it's trauma.
Yasu's definitely going to start lining up the sake cups and pouring. Okay,
There you
that sounds
go.
great.
Yeah,
Need a little, here's something for my nerves.
absolutely.
After hearing what Nao said, I will partake.
Because sometimes you just need a drink.
Sometimes there isn't going to be a celebration afterwards. Why not?
That's fair. I think the images of all the blood I had on my hands and my body and all the blood I saw has kind of put my stomach off eating, let alone drinking. I know that as a premonition, AOI and I have talked about this, that it may not come true, but, or maybe I can interpret it differently, but I feel like having all of the information is a good idea. We can work together to figure out if it's avoidable or if it's inevitable or if it's a misinterpretation of something else. More eyes means more ability to have good fortune, I guess.
Thank you for sharing. I know you didn't have to do that. You could have kept it to yourself.
I don't like secrets to begin with. This is not one I felt I needed to keep.
Don't forget, we'll be able to celebrate it with much better sake and food when we come back victorious. This is just to get us started.
You all can have my share. I think the best I could come up with is very bland congee or rice, some sort of porridge or whatever. That's about the best my stomach can do right now. But please enjoy my
And
share.
there's plenty of that, considering there are other soldiers who've had very similar disturbing experiences. Sometimes they need something, they need to fill the tummy, but they don't necessarily need something that has a whole lot of flavor. That said, the crab clan is definitely known for their spicy food too.
I think I'll have spicy food when I get back.
Good plan.
I want something in my stomach to like help my body function better in battle at that point rather than for anything else.
I'm going to eat just a normal size breakfast with a lot of ginger.
Oh yeah, the ginger will definitely clear you out.
Yeah.
So before we get started, does anybody want to kind of have some tactical conversations so we can have an idea to avoid that premonition?
That's not a bad plan. You hear from the other side of the courtyard. And up strides Hida Misato. She's a big woman. She's about 6'3". There are some of the men in the crab clan who are not as tall as her. She's solidly built. To step a little out of world for a moment, this is definitely the kind of step on me mommy kind of woman that you would expect in some places. Very big, very built. If you've watched She-Ra, Scorpia is an excellent visual reference. She, in fact, Misato does in fact keep her hair short. Greetings, samurai. She grins a bit knowingly at all of you, knowing that some of you are Ronin, some of you still have yet to attain the title, but it is said with the confidence that she believes that all of you will come back alive. Definitely understand tactical implications, because that will help keep you alive. Aoi-san here. She's a healer. She has ways to mitigate damage from your enemies. Make sure she is protected. Unfortunately, with Shugenja, armor is a little tricky. So the rest of you will have protection that she will not. Yasu-san. Your family, you come from the Wasp clan that joined the Mantis. My grandfather remembers some of the times with the Wasp clan. It was its own entity and the best archers in the entire empire. Yasu-san will be your ranged support. They also steal some of your kills, so be careful about that. A wink over to Yasu.
Would never.
Never.
Yes, you would. You did it yesterday. Don't even.
Okay. Maybe a little. I'll try to refrain.
You know how I feel about dishonesty, okay? Just not.
Kaoru-san has lived a life that most of you don't necessarily expect. Comes from the Forest Killers, some of the toughest bandits in the Empire. He also knows when to detect an ambush, considering he's been part of enough of them himself. Don't tell me you haven't. Strong silent type, I like it. No, son. When you're a skilled fighter and you know when there may be social engineering afoot. Probably won't run into as much of it out here, but you at least know when to see it and when to call it out for what it is. My father used to call it, you have a good sense for bullshit. There'll be a lot of bullshit out in the Shadowlands. Just maybe not the type you think it will be. But I have faith in all of you. I think you'll do well.
I have faith in us too. Scary visions aside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Kara is just stuffing his face with rice and stuff.
Don't. Easy there. You don't want to vomit that up later. That's gross.
If you do,
Besides,
I'm saying.
Should a goblin stab you in the right spot, you don't want to explode. It's almost time. Armor up. Get ready. A gong sounds in the background, and all of the various little groups that are also fighting with you, not in competition, because they all have the same goal, but it's not like there's a limited number of resources, you know? A very large man with very fine armor steps out of the watchtower just above the gate where they're about to let you out. Deep breath. He's trying to center himself. Big, strong man having a hard time speaking to a crowd. Some of you may die. Some of you may come back victorious, but shaken. Some of you, this might not even be a challenge at all. But know this, even if you don't come back with 20 goblin heads, even if you only come back with one, that in itself is in service to the Empire. But, well, you need 20 to come back and be a crab. Because we have to do more than serve. Gestures to the various guards. Each of them probably kill about 20 goblins a day. Each. You join us, it'll be those kind of pickings and even more. If you go to other places in the Empire, they will understand you are a hero and that it is because of you that they don't even have to think about the influence of the taint up north. Some of you are Northerners. I forgive you. That comes up from the rest of from some of the crab soldiers. Get through this, and you will be a crab, and none of that will matter. And he lets out a battle cry that every single crab echoes. It's so loud that you are sure that even in the deepest pits of the Shadowlands, evil hears it and shakes. You join in? Excellent. For that, each of you will have an extra void point that you can spend. There's something about that that rouses your spirits in a way that you've never felt before. Basically, anytime you spend a void point for the rest of the session, that's the one that goes first. At that point, the gates open, and before you is the blasted, barren, cracked, evil terrain of the Shadowlands. Jagged mountains further south. Land is dry, and just stepping on it makes you feel uncomfortable in a way that you've never felt before. Like something out there deep in the waste is going to try and reach into your soul and squash it. But now you can go forward. Some of the groups run forward, realizing there's really nothing out there, and then they kind of slow down and they kind of look around. Some approach more cautiously. How would you all like to proceed?
Steady pace.
Definitely cautiously. Is there, what's the terrain like? Is there no forest or?
Not immediately out there, just right around the wall. It's just kind of barren. There are definitely places where you see scrub trees. The sky is blue on the other side of the wall. It is definitely down to like a yellowish gray, even if there aren't any immediate clouds. It's just the quality of the place. It's like you stepped practically into another realm, but not quite.
Yasu's gonna already have her bow out and strung and with an arrow notched but loose at her side.
That is an excellent plan.
I'm going to keep pace with the rest, planning myself between everyone.
Good plan.
Yeah, I'll be up near the front too, and I'll be on guard, but also like doing some stretches while we walk out.
That absolutely makes sense. There's definitely some things that you can do for that. So y'all are ready. About 20 minutes out is when you see a little bit more difficulty within the terrain. Not directly in front of you, but there's definitely going to be some hills, some rocks up ahead that will make just walking straight forward a little bit harder, but it can provide something, it can provide cover for something small, you know, like a goblin.
Calru, any traps?
Can I check?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. That is going to be perception.
Mm-hmm.
Normally it's perception go ahead, perception hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my sheet, the roles are not written out, so it's
okay. So it's going to be so for you, it's going to be 3 keep 2, but you also have the wary advantage. So that's going to be 4 keep 3 for you because you get an additional rolled and kept die to detect ambushes.
Okay. And
sorry about that. That's my fault.
No, it's okay. I'm just try out the roll now. So it's 21.
That'll do it. There aren't necessarily any traps about, but the way the shadows fall, because there is still light here, the way the shadows fall, you know that there's definitely something out there. There's at least 5 goblins hiding in various spots in the rocks. You could probably call a shot and Yasu could take one right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to suggest. So I just point out some shadows or base some shadows fall that would indicate that there are hidden goblins behind the mounds.
And there's something about the way Power moves that the rest of you will probably notice a little bit more closely than you have in training. Super quiet. Like he knows how his footfalls land to make very little sound, if any at all. It's kind of eerie.
I want to do something to boost him. Thinking he might start to attack.
So let me take a look at your spell.
Would Blessed Wind be good?
That would work specifically with ranged attacks.
Oh, okay. So
yeah. So not just yet. That said, Yasu, do you want to try and take a shot?
Yes.
Boost Yasu.
I got 18. You add the numbers, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and count that as a surprise round. All right. So that will absolutely. You hear us. Okay. So what I need you to do next is go ahead and roll damage. What kind of arrow did you use? Did you use a normal arrow or an armor piercing one?
A normal arrow.
Okay, so go ahead and roll 4 dice and keep 1.
9.
There is a pained shriek from behind that rock. You know you got him good. And now you're surrounded. These are tiny little ugly green things in like makeshift loincloths and sharpened sticks and sharp teeth. So this is where we're going to go into a combat round. So you have a few options as far as the stance you want to take, but first let's go ahead and roll initiative. So on your sheet, it should tell you the die roll that you're going to have plus any modifiers that you're going to include. And so tell me the total and then I'll rank it up from there.
And on this, do we also re-roll tens?
Yes.
If my modifier is +1 K1, does that mean I add a dice and I also keep a dice?
Yes. Some of you are fast.
35.
Woo, hello. That. Next.
Eight.
Ooh.
16.
Who got 16?
Aoi.
Okay. Now,
I think 35.
what did you roll?
I rolled 5d10, keep 4 because of my initiative.
Yep.
I got a 10, 8, 6, 2, 2. All of that was 26 for what I kept. And then I re-rolled and I got a 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Thought I did that right. Wasn't sure.
Oh, no, you absolutely did that right. All right. And this is where I pull up. This is where I roll initiative for the goblins. $13. Ooh. All right. So you clearly have the drop on these little buggers. All right, so we have 2, that's 35. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at reflexes real quick to help break that tie. Which is also a tie. And agility, of course, all right. Each of you roll a d10. Whoever gets the higher one goes first. Sometimes you got to make snap decisions like this when everything just works out. It's like, okay, that's a tie. That's also a tie. That's also a tie.
So who's rolling a d10?
You are, and now. You're on mute. Now you're on mute.
I got a 1, so.
I got a 3.
Okay, so now we'll be going first. You have a wealth of targets ahead of you.
I definitely want to hit, like, just go after them with one of, probably my katana.
Yep.
Just because it gets a higher damage roll.
That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. So,
I can't shoot or anything. I have to, like, I can't double wield because katana is a two-handed weapon, right?
A katana is considered you can use it with one hand if you are also using a wakizashi. However, the Mirumoto Duelist, which is the school for the Dragon Clan, specifically does that. If you just do decide to dual wield, you will have some. You will basically have higher number that you need to hit.
Okay. Cool. So all right, I'll roll 5k3 to hit, right?
It's no, it's 6 because I'm stupid. Sorry, it's 6 keep. It's 6 keep 3. I'm sorry, I put that wrong on your sheet. I will fix that right now.
Well, I have to re-roll 2 10s for that one. Can I just re-roll 3 10s and then call it that? Is that okay?
That is enough to hit by a lot. Go ahead and roll your damage.
But my damage is just as high as my other rolls.
Archie.
Yeah.
It looks like it.
So it's going to be your strength plus 3. So that's going to be
6. Keep 2.
Yep.
14 is what I get.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead and roll one more die. I'm sorry. I missed something. That's my fault.
Okay.
And if you decide that you want to swap something out for the 2 kept dice, you can.
Okay. Was a 1. So I think it's still 14.
Okay. That goblin goes flying through the air with a squeal, and he lands on the ground, but he's still kind of wriggling. He ain't dead yet.
Okay.
But he's pretty damn close. Yasu, what is your action?
Yasu's again going to notch her arrow, and she'll use a regular arrow again.
Okay, cool. Are you? And I assume you're going for one that hasn't been touched yet.
Can I see the one I already hit?
Yeah.
I'll go for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you just a quick note here: if you roll higher than a 15, you will hit this goblin. That's just going to be for all the goblins in this combat. And if you have damage higher than an 18, you basically one-shot it.
Okay. I hit. I hit.
Yeah.
17 plus 6, and I can't count today.
Mm-hmm.
And then 9 damage.
With the previous shot that you took, that goblin goes down. It is dead. That goblin is dead. Aoi, it is your turn next. You can either, there's a lot of different things you can do here. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. 1 second.
I think I want to use Ebbing's strength.
Okay.
To decrease my own strength to boost Kaoru's 1 point.
So basically, for 3 rounds, Kaoru, your strength is boosted by 1. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and roll to cast your spell. And that is going to be your water ring plus your school rank, and then keep your water. That is a water spell.
Sorry, water rank plus what?
Your school rank, which is 1.
Okay. So 4 and then keep 3?
Yep.
Okay.
And the number you're trying to reach is a 10. Because this is a super easy spell.
And I rolled terribly. I did not do that well. 11.
That's enough. Congratulations, Kaoru. You're going to now have a strength of 3 when you hit the next goblin. That said, I'm going to... Now the goblins get to go. And I'm going to...
Didn't we have a surprise round?
The surprise round is basically Yasu, knocking one out.
Being amazing.
Yeah. Right. And this is where I do a lot of copy paste here.
Yasi taking one of our kills, like she promised she wouldn't. Just throwing it out there.
No, she got that kill all on her own.
That was mine, fair and square. I hit both of those arrows were from me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, I rolled one more than I needed to. Oopsie. That's okay. And 2, 3, 4. Those are obnoxious little buggers. I'll tell you that much right now. And I forgot to put your armor TN in here, Ellie. Let me fix that right now. Might want to refresh your sheet when you have a chance. Actually, felt y'all to take a hit. Or not take a hit, as the case may be. The goblins flail and try to throw their sticks at you, and they all miss. Every single one. You can just swat them away. These things are just, you just mow them down if you like.
Trash.
Kaoru, your turn.
They're all trash.
Pretty much. All right.
Yeah, at first, Kaoru thought that he would stand back and wait for the goblins to come to them, but with the new strength, he will definitely attack them.
All right.
So I have some questions about the cool techniques. Like there's this plus stamina to sword attacks.
Okay, so that's specifically for how many, so basically you can add your stamina to damage for melee attacks. So if you're hitting something with a sword, it's your standard damage from whatever weapon you're using. If it's a katana, it's a wakizashi. You get the bonus from having, and then you get the bonuses that are on your sheet, and then you, and that's specifically, and then you get to add the amount your stamina is to the total for your damage. So that's going to be
dice.
No, just a flat modifier.
Okay, so for me it would be 5k. Okay, let's roll.
So let's do the attack roll. Let's make sure you hit first.
Sorry.
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. So I think it's 6k3 for me also. Because it's 3 and
yes.
Agility.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I am finding all of the typos in your sheets today, y'all. I am so sorry. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, let's take a look. How did you do? Because we have our nice little die roll bot here. Oh yeah. Roll your damage.
Yeah. So now the damage roll is how does it compute? What's the basis?
So the damage roll is specifically strength plus a certain modifier, and then keep whatever dice it is. So basically, so right now it says 5 keep. So it says 5 keep 2, and then you get an additional 1 keep 0 from another bonus. And then since your strength has been boosted, you get to roll another die, but it's not capped. The capped dice is specifically based on the weapon. So you get to roll 7 keep 2, and then add your stamina to the total. So it's 7 keep 2, and then plus 3.
Okay. And the 5, that was the basis that comes out of.
So it's your strength.
4 plus strength. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So the katana basis is 3k2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just trying.
And then you get other bonuses from other things, and then So you're There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna roll them.
Excellent. Excellent call out. For the folks at home, I actually specifically put all the rolls like kind of as total for the folks here, so they wouldn't have to do a whole lot of math on stream.
So I will definitely one shot this one.
Oh yeah, no. You take its head clean off.
Yeah.
Head is cleaved from its body. All right, that's 2 down. All right, so top of the round. And I've got one.
I think I'll look back over my shoulder and smile to Ari for this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so back up to the top of the round. Now we have 7 goblins that are at full strength, and then one that is like kind of twitching on the ground, bleeding a little, kind of floppy. That was the one you hit last round.
Okay. How far is everyone away from Aoi? Like, are we getting too I just want to
I
make sure.
suspect it's going to be keeping pretty close quarters combat. You're at least within 20 feet of her, because that was what the range was for specifically for the spell. So you're fairly close.
Okay. And do I see any goblins like trying to come near her or get closer or anything that way?
Yeah. There are a couple specifically targeting the sweet, juicy human that has no shell to crack.
Great. I want to target one of those because the one that's got
Okay.
left, I'm not as worried
Oh
about.
yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
Okay. So 60, 10, keep 3,
Mhm.
and a 19 to hit.
Oh yeah, that'll hit it.
Okay. And then 6, 10. Is it 60, 10, keep 2 for the damage roll still?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Let me double check. Yeah. Yes.
Cool. I couldn't remember if that was when we changed. 18 points of damage to that one, so it's
Oh, that one goes down. So you basically step in front of Aoi and be like, whoop.
Sweet. I don't know if there's a way I could angle it so it lands on the other one. It does that last point of damage. I don't think so, but it'd be cool.
Not quite, no. So something you can do to potentially do that later is you can also call raises. So basically it would raise the base TN to the attack.
Uh-huh.
And then you could use that to, either do additional damage or damage another opponent. There's a lot of things you can do specifically with raises. And I will talk you through it whenever you decide you want to do it. But yeah. Aoi now just stepped in front of you and took one of your kills. How do you feel about that?
There's another one coming, okay?
Oh yeah, no, there's plenty. Oh yeah, there's plenty to go around. All right. Next up we have Yasu.
Just a quick question. How often can I get my void points back?
There are lots of different ways to get void points. Some of them is through meditation. If you find yourself in the spot in the Shadowlands where you can actually, sit and chill for a second. If your dice explode a certain number of times, I think it's 3 times, then you can automatically get a void back. That might actually be from a different edition, but I'm using it anyway because screw it. But
GM gets to make the rules.
Yeah, exactly. We also have to remember this is going to be a slightly shorter session. So, we have an hour left before our stream is over. So yes, feel free to use those void points liberally.
Okay. So Yasu's going to go ahead and notch another arrow. And she's going to pick out one that's also coming close to Aoi. And then she makes lots of rolls. 19.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
and she hits for 6.
Dink! It wobbles a bit. It looks hurt. Kind of growls at you a little bit. All right. Next up, we have Aoi. Now remember, Aoi, you do have a bow, which is basically a stick that you can smack people with too if you want to go that route.
And I'm fine if you want to take that one with the one hit point. I'm fine if you want to take that kill. Not trying to keep your kills. I was really trying to make it not be you double.
You also have a spell called Yari of Air, which basically creates a weapon for you.
So I'm going to attempt to stay true to my pacifist background, and I'm going to use Blessed Wind for Yasu for her next turn.
Okay. All right. So basically that makes it harder for other people to hit you with ranged attacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I would actually what I would recommend for you is actually Tempest of Air.
Okay.
So that's going to be your air plus your school rank. Keep your air.
So 16.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll 1 die to determine how much damage that all 6 of the other goblins are going to take.
2.
6 or 7. 2. Okay. So all of the goblins that all are attacking get buffeted with wind coming from Aoi.
Nice work.
Including the one on the ground, who's kind of like, ow, but isn't dead yet. But that definitely loosens him up a little bit for you. That said, none of them like that. I'm going to do a quick. So Aoi, I'm going to need you to roll. This is just going to be a straight ring roll. So I need you to roll your air. So it's basically roll and keep the same amount of dice. All right, there's the scrolls.
9.
Okay. So 3 of the goblins that you hit, that 2 damage is enough to knock them on the butts, and they have to spend they basically have to spend the round getting back up. The other 3 stay on their feet, and they come after Aoi. And actually, no. Yeah, so one comes after you, Aoi, and then the other 2, actually, one goes after Nao and one goes after Cohort. They haven't quite gotten to Yasu yet, but they will. All right, let me go ahead and just do some quick rolls. 2, 10, 2. These are not very powerful little shits. Nope. None of them hit. They are just so rattled by getting knocked on their butts. They're just, Karu, you're up. There we go.
What was the thing about you said about races? Is there a race
what? Yeah. So
for
basically,
taking two hits?
What you can do with raises is you can call additional raises to do additional damage.
What about extra attacks?
Extra attacks are actually part of school techniques, and those are going to be a little bit more advanced. Yeah.
Okay. What about dual wielding?
Dual wielding is also, I believe you can dual wield. I believe you're at a -5 to both if you do. I need to double check that because I am not smart.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check some things on my end real quick.
I'm just thinking that maybe the extra strength, which boosted, it didn't. It just boosted the damage. It didn't boost the attack itself.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay,
At the same time, you can mow them down a lot faster because they're falling down faster.
Yeah.
So you can absolutely attack 2. You basically do. So if you're dual wielding, I can absolutely let you attack 2 of them. You'll be at a -5 for each.
Okay. I'll try.
Okay, give it a shot. So your die roll doesn't change. You just subtract from the amount.
Getting used to the roller. So it's 19 for the first one.
Okay.
And the 15 for the second.
They both hit.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. So the katana plus 7.
Yeah, so the katana is 7, keep 2 + 3 for you, and then
the first one is 19 damage.
Oh yeah, that one dies.
And the second one is it's just 1 die less.
Yep.
Second one is 18.
Well, all of them are basically max is 16 at this point. So you take out 2 in one go. And like that, folks are like, well, shit, that's how it's done. All right. Yeah. Efficiency is delightful. Yes. All right.
I'm just trying to keep up with Yasu's.
All right. So there are 5 targets left, Yasu. Or excuse me, Mao goes first. Now there are 2 there are 4 targets left that are standing, but a little winded, but hunting. And then there's one that's on the ground, like literally just like kill me, but in goblin, so it's like
Yeah, I get you. I'm gonna go for one of the standing ones.
Okay, sounds good.
23 to hit.
Oh yeah.
And then 17 points of damage to that one, so it's
that one falls.
great.
All right. Yasu, you're up.
Okay. Again, I'm going to notch an arrow because why not? And I actually had 3 10s.
Oh, so if you had spent any more, you would have gained 1 back.
And I re-roll the 10s, right?
Yeah. So in this particular case, since the TN you were looking for is 15, you don't necessarily have to. You hit it.
Okay.
You hit
Okay.
it. You hit it good.
And then I rolled for my damage 10 again
Okay.
and a
Check your
7,
dice.
so 17.
The next arrow you fire literally goes right through, clean through. Go ahead and roll me 1d10 real quick.
This one's been doing me well, so I'm gonna roll this one. 2.
It just barely misses the one on the ground. Like it doesn't even it's right by his ear and he's kind of squeaks. That one just gonna lay in there. So close. You almost got that one.
We're even neck and neck, Kaoru, now.
All right. Aoi, how would you like to proceed? You can absolutely do Tempest of Air again if you like. There's
Yeah,
a lot
I'm
of
gonna go
different
for
ones you
it.
can do.
That was
Okay,
fun.
go for it. Yeah, that's a fun one. All right.
Okay. So, 10.
All right, that will do the job. So go ahead and roll 1, keep 1.
One.
Okay. So there's 2 that are standing, and 1 is just kind of on the ground, literally on his last hit point. Like he's literally got one wound left. Let me go ahead and do a couple quick rolls. And go ahead and roll 3, keep 3 again for me.
$20.
Both of the goblins that are still standing are knocked on their feet, and they actually have to spend this round getting back up. Kaoru, you have 2 standing targets and 1 that's on the ground literally about to die.
Yeah, I'll take the standing ones.
Okay. Are you gonna do the double wield again? All right, you
Yep.
know what to do.
With -5, it's 23 and 20.
Okay, you hit them both.
Both hit. And following up with the damage is the katana does 21, and
Okay.
it does 23. So I guess
Those 2 are down, and at this point we are officially out of combat because there's literally one just laying on the ground, bleeding out and dying.
I'm gonna gesture to it and like to Aoi and be like, would you like a head? 1 of 20 you need?
I'm just gonna tap the one on the ground with my bow. Okay, we're done.
That will do it, but before he dies, he points behind you and then and as all y'all look behind you, there are easily 100 goblins behind you.
Perfect. This is where we can get the rest of our numbers.
Exactly. And because we have 40 minutes left in the session, I'm going to use the mass battle system, which is basically, this will make things go a lot smoother. And I'm going to make this a lot cooler. So I think because of the numbers, there's basically certain places of engagement. There's reserves, there's disengaged, there's engaged, and heavily engaged. I love you all dearly. You are all heavily engaged.
Nice. Thank you.
Yes, because, well, it is the 4 of you against 100 goblins. That in alone and of itself is going to be a massive story should you survive it.
We should easily have 25 heads each, right, guys?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's not even counting the scouting party of 10 that you already just took care of.
Well,
all right.
Where are all the other groups of 4? How did we walk a block and we found all these ones, and where are they? Are they dead? Is my premonition true now?
That's a very interesting question.
Oh, good.
As you look, there are in fact a couple of heads of some of the groups you recognize on little makeshift pikes. Some of them didn't do as well as you. No. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to need from each of you is specifically to roll 1 die. And then add your water ring. And if you have the battle skill, which I don't think any of you do, I think that was a different sheet that I made up. Let me double check. If you have the battle skill, you can add that to your roll as well. Oh, come on.
So you add them all together?
Yeah.
Can I reroll? Are the white points? Can the white points used? Can they be used?
So this is not necessarily for like a combat roll. This is more just to kind of determine kind of where y'all sit in the battle. So
okay.
Yeah. So
okay. Well, I got
roll
1.
Okay, so you got a 1.
Plus,
all right.
Plus water is 3.
Yep.
And that's all.
Okay. That's
so
cool.
Is it
that
3
was the question.
Die or 3 total?
3. So add 3 to the 1 die you rolled.
Okay. 12.
Okay. All right. So you got a 12. You got a 3. Okay. I
all get 10.
Now, how about you?
5.
5. Okay. All right, and this is where there's a handy-dandy table for this. That's not the window I want. Thank you. All right. So let's. Come on. Sorry, my computer's being super slow and I'm trying to look up a few things.
For some reason, I'm imagining that scene from Lord of the Rings where Gimli and, oh, fangirls everywhere are going to be so angry I can't remember, Legolas are like counting the kills.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening.
That is exactly what's happening, actually.
Yasu looks over at Kaoru. You're up now. Just wait.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I think Karo is busy cutting off the heads of the goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to rise above the pettiness of this. Come on, get it. Don't pretend you're better than us at this. Just
Mm-hmm.
come on.
Okay. So Aoi, you actually have an opportunity. They have chuckers. They basically have slings and stones. You have an opportunity to attack their range support and basically make them non-existent. How would you like to do that?
Like,
Tempest of Air is remarkably utilitarian as far
Okay.
as this is concerned. It's okay to be a one-trick pony, I promise.
all right. So yes. Tempest of air, and
Okay.
I'll just a wall of wind.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you want to call a raise on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you call a raise on that, I allow you to do an additional kept dice of damage.
Okay. So
You
then,
pissed.
okay.
So basically at that point, it'll be a 15.
So then do I still do the 4 or do I
Yep.
do a 5?
The die, yeah. So the die roll doesn't change to actually cast the spell.
Okay.
You just have to beat a different number.
All right. So I got 20,
Yep.
21. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got more than that because you have a 10 in there as well. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
have enough to cast the spell. So go ahead and roll 2, keep 2. 3 damage.
9.
Okay. You mow down an entire unit of chuckers.
Not today, guys.
Pretty much. Yes.
And you said you weren't competitive.
What do you think of that, Kaori? Or Kaoru? What'd you think of that?
Well, it didn't take off any heads.
Mm-hmm.
Semantics.
All right. Yasu. There is a strange, beefy looking goblin in a scary looking mask who looks like he's chucking spells, but you got a clear shot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you have an opportunity to basically take out one of the leaders. So the TN on that is still going to be a 15. I would recommend calling a raise to get more damage.
Okay. Yeah.
So that would put your TN to a 20 instead of a 15. And since you have some dice who apparently really love you and are rolling lots of 10s today, this is probably not a bad time to do it.
Yeah. No, I got a couple of high dice already. So what I would need to do then is my dice that I keep, need to equal a 20. Is that right?
Yeah, the total on the dice that you keep needs to be a 20. And if you're using, and since you're probably using your Yumi, if you re-roll any ones, if you have any ones, you can re-roll them.
36.
That'll do it.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and add an additional rolled and capped die to your damage.
I was going to use the AP dice, the ones that ignore armor.
Oh yeah, that's a great option.
Okay, so I have a, oh wait, I can reroll ones, right?
For your skill rolls, yeah.
So not for my damage rolls then. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
7 and 6. Why can't I math today? 13.
That is a very clear shot. And it knocks him off the little pedestal that he's using to basically try and get range on the battlefield. So he is out of the fight, but he's not dead. But you can probably find him later and collect that head in particular.
Absolutely.
That mask is also a really good trophy because, well, goblin shamans are kind of a pain in the butt. However,
Yes.
you are surrounded. The other goblins have seen how you will literally become a walking Cuisinart and mowed down their brothers. They are mad.
So are there any defensive options or?
Yes. I was actually, let me finish what I'm saying here and then.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. If you make an attack roll at a TN of 25, you can take every single one of them down.
Okay.
If you get between a 20 and a 25, you can do it, but you'll take some additional damage. Anything below a 20, we'll figure out from there.
You can use void.
And yes, you can void points for this. You can absolutely use void points for this.
So it's 74.
Yeah. Yeah. You can spend void points to add a rolled and kept die to your roll.
So okay, this is
that ebbing strength is no longer added, so just treat it as your normal strength. Because that was just for 3.
The attack roll doesn't count.
Right. Yeah. I'm just letting you know for additional purposes.
Okay. Yeah. This roll is crazy. So,
I believe it. Let me take a look.
This is 60.
Holy Yeah.
I rolled 3 10s.
Yeah. So you gain that void point back. And not only that, but you basically spin around and literally become a walking Cuisinart. There will be Miramoto duelists who will envy your technique for years to come.
Nice. Or the lack of one. I think I'm
just
going raw on this one.
Okay.
Whatever strength I have. Oh, so I am. What's the? So I have to roll damage now, or?
No, not for this one.
Okay.
Not for this one.
Okay.
You literally in some cases there aren't heads to collect because you literally cut them to ribbons.
Yeah. I think I'm losing count now.
Now, go ahead and roll me awareness plus intimidation.
Okay.
TN is 15.
Okay, so intimidation is I roll 5K3 for intimidation, and then
Yep.
And then what do I add for? Do I just add +3 to that? For my my awareness is a 3, so I'm wondering if I just add that at the end.
No. So awareness is the number of dice you keep. So you just roll 5, keep 3.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. $19?
That'll do it. You were looking for a 15.
Oh, that's right.
You let out a battle cry that rivals, if not surpasses, the one you did at the very beginning of this session when you first came out.
Mm-hmm.
The entire unit of goblins in front of you, literally, that are running to attack you, literally stop dead in their tracks and scramble over themselves to try to run away. Which means they're easy pickings. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me. And yes, 10s explode.
Sweet. Just 1d10?
Just one.
Oh, crap. Got the exclamation point at the beginning.
It's okay.
I am 8.
That's how many goblins you're able to mow down as they're running away.
Sweet.
All right. Now I'm going to do one more run of the mass battle. So go ahead and roll 1d10 for me and then add your water ring.
Toru, I don't know if those ones count. You can't get the heads. I don't think pieces count.
That's a really great point, actually.
Yeah.
I got 6.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's 1d10 plus our water? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, thanks.
That's fine.
5.
Okay. Man, your dice don't like you today, man. Unless it's just that one like shining moment.
Yeah, and that's God.
His dice like him a lot.
In certain cases.
They're just trying to let us have a time to shine too. That's all.
Aoi, how about you?
10.
10? 10 again? All right. Now, how about you?
I got 7. Or excuse me. Yeah, 7, sorry.
So, because I love you all dearly and I don't want to do a total party wipe, I'm going to let you spend a void point if you like to roll again.
Yeah.
All right.
Do I 10s don't explode?
10s do explode.
19.
19. Okay. That's much better.
8.
That's better.
I'd like to keep my original roll, please, because this one's a 4.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Aoi, was yours better?
You said that was 1d10 plus water, right?
Yes.
13.
Nice.
That's way better. All right. Okay. So I'm going to do this last one as a group challenge. The only foes left in front of you are 4 goblin berserkers. They're going to be harder to hit. They're vicious. And if they hit and they're all like in full rage. I'm going to need each of you to make your best attack roll at a TN of 20.
Can we use void points for this too?
Yes, you can. And you can use a void point to either add a rolling dice to your roll, or to be considered skilled in a skill that you do not have. So, for example, I couldn't give you staves on your sheet, Aoi. I love you. I'm sorry. You can definitely spend a void point specifically to get that, so you can benefit from exploding 10s on your roll.
I got 32.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yep.
It was 20 was the TN?
Yep.
I got 24.
Yep, that'll do it.
$43.
Yikes. Okay, like, I need you to touch my dice next time I play this game. Like, for real. Holy crap. That's terrifying. Like, for real.
The idea of you UPSing your dice to her just so she could like breathe on them so she could UPS them back.
I mean, I've considered it, not gonna lie.
And the void point will add 1 dice to my attack and to my roll and keep, right?
Yes.
And I'll also do Tempest of Air with spending 1 void point to add.
Yep. Go for it.
I wanted
Now,
to
these
use.
are also Shadowland stated creatures, so you can also use Jade Strike. So I want to, have that option of it. I want you to make sure you have all your options available to you.
Yeah, I do want to use Jade Strike.
Yeah. Yeah. Use Jade Strike. Just trust me on this one. Use Jade Strike.
All right, so then my roll for attack for that is Earth.
Earth plus school rank.
Okay.
And you can use a void point to add 1, keep 1.
Yep.
I would recommend it in this particular case.
I was going to use my AP arrows,
Yep.
and I hit for 14.
So you're looking for, so that's how much damage you're doing?
That's damage. My
Okay.
hit was the 40. I can't
Right.
even remember.
Got
43.
it. Why can't you roll for that for damage, man?
Well, I only have keep 1. I only get keep
That's
1,
fair.
and so I had
That's
to
fair.
use a void point to even keep 2.
That's fair.
So I got 23.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, so with that void point, I can, instead of 3 keep 3, it's 4 keep 4
No,
for my damage.
void does not apply to damage.
Oh,
You can't
right.
spend void
Okay.
to increase damage, but 3 keep 3 is nothing to sneeze at.
16 damage.
The disappointment on your face is so heart crushing.
Yeah. These goblins are definitely going to be a bit harder to kill, but the fact that you were able to do a considerable amount of damage, if not mow some down outright.
I think I forgot to roll damage. And
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
It's 22.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll do it.
I forgot to roll damage too. Just a second, sorry.
Go for it. Yeah.
19, but I get to re-roll another.
Cat.
Re-roll again. So I'm at 29.
So these goblin berserkers, 2 of them just get completely obliterated. One is nearly dying, and the other one, skin is starting to sizzle at the purity of a jade strike. This battle is over. You are very clearly succeeded. It's going to take some time specifically to, cut off some heads, and you've got a sack for them, and 20 is a lot, especially to carry each. But you're in a place where you can go back to the wall. And because Kaoru has a little something called absolute direction, who always knows where north is, you'll be able to get back to the wall with your 20 goblin heads and join the ranks of the Crab Clan. Misato is standing there on top of the wall, beaming with pride. Especially since as you walk up, remember those bodies you saw in your vision now?
Mm-hmm.
They are now piled up at the foot of the wall. A lot of those are some of the comrades that you trained with. And you yourself were covered in goblin blood and probably desperately want a bath, especially since the Shadowland stage is a very real thing. But you came out of it victorious, even at the expense of seeing many of the people that you fought and trained with over the past couple of weeks die. But then again, Shadowlands is a harsh place. But you've all proven yourselves worthy to join the ranks of the Crab Clan and continue fighting even bigger threats for the good of the Empire. And now you can drink in celebration, especially since I'm pretty sure somebody has a bottle of something stronger in their traveling pack. I think I put the shochu in your bag. Yes, I did. There's a bottle of shochu.
What's shochu? I haven't reviewed
Shochu is actually more potent than sake. It's actually Korean, if I'm not mistaken, in real life, but it is a more potent liquor than sake.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's delicious, and it will knock you on your ass.
Okay.
So tonight is the night where you celebrate, you take another bath, and then you get drunk as hell.
Yeah, definitely.
What flavor? We got like strawberry flavored, right?
If you want to be fancy like that, sure. But there are definitely some crowd who like to, enjoy the taste of what they're drinking. But then again, most of them like to drink for effect as opposed to flavor.
Mm-hmm.
there's plum wine too if you really want to drink for flavor.
We drink to forget, not for flavor.
Exactly.
Of relief.
Yeah.
Raise a glass to freedom, something they can never take away, no matter what they tell you. Or raise a glass to the four of us. Tomorrow there'll be more of us telling the story of tonight. Sorry, I'm a musical theater nerd, and it seemed really appropriate ending point for this particular session for all of y'all. You did great.
Was a great ending point for this session. We are amazing, guys. Good job.
Fantastic. Yeah. So this has been Geek Therapeutics. I, once again, have been your guest GM, Renee Ritchie. I will be back, probably not until October, with a brand new cohort of folks who are here to become certified geek therapists. And these folks will hopefully be taking their test here pretty soon and joining the ranks. So thank you all so much for watching, and have a great afternoon or evening in the case of Kirsten, because he is out in Estonia. This is probably a good time for you to go have that drink, man.
I will.
If you drink. All right. Thank you all so much, and you have a great day.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. I love to play with y'all again.